this is The Mirrors of Shallott, season 2, episode 4. Quick recap. Having been sent to Camp Hero by the Clockwork Olympus and the Enchantress of Numbers, you arrived with a Quatermass agent and 4 pre-programmed Zealot units. Making your way through the perimeter security, you made your way into the camp, destroying the zombies that were attacking you. Made your way down below Camp Hero into the underground segment. In there, you were attacked by some quite tall zombies and the actual Camp Heroes superheroes. Jackson Stone's army is a superhero army. Eventually making your way to the Black Museum, which was in the underground section. You were able to use the Moonstone to shatter the Necromancer's stone, which is what gave him the power to raise the dead. You knew this because close to 100 years... No. When you went back to 1980, you encountered the Necromancer, and he aided you in the resurrection of the Watchmaker from that timeline.
Yep.
Enabling you to travel back to your own time. You have with you the Moon Blade, and Miss America was with you as well. Renegade.
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, she was.
Yes. After you destroyed the zombies and grabbed the Moonstone, grabbed the Moonblade, which is what you were going for. The Moonblade is an item that they believe can kill Necromon, given that it was wielded by Valreed. Can't remember his name. But he was part of the original Starlight Pact. But he had. It was thought that he had come from a place called Albion, which was thousands, if not millions, of years in our past. The same place and time that Necromon had come from.
Right.
So the thought was that he had been sent through time, came through time to kill Necromon, but couldn't find him. Was caught up in the Starlight Pact, who all had beef with Necromon, but for whatever reason, they never managed to kill him. So the ERTP pulled you back to the base in Cornwall, where you found everything's. Oh yes. So that was how we ended. You were being pulled back to the base in Cornwall.
Yep, okie dokie.
So as you arrive on the platform with your 4 zealots, I've forgotten her name again, Renegade, Miss America, the place has been trashed, and what looks like something has come in and destroyed everything. All that is left, as you look around the dust-covered room, are 3 disembodied brains floating. And you see little sparks come from it as they're ordering people around. there just appears to be scientists or people in white coats are running around. There doesn't appear to be any superheroes. There is a body on the floor that looks like it's breathing, that might be possibly Dark Narcissus, but everyone else is destroyed or missing.
Better check on the wounded then.
So
Can't
you
go
arrive at
with-
the platform.
Sorry,
And
Sorry, Roger.
so you arrive on the platform, and as you arrive, you see that the brains. It's not that like they turn to look at you, but they turn to look at you. They've got no eyes, but there's that moment when, rather than a disembodied brain could see you in a three-dimensional mental scape, for cinematic purposes, the brains all turn and face you without turning and facing you, so to speak. You've seen these brains before. These are the Nazi brains that were in the control room that the Clockwork Orbis had said they were going to destroy.
Oh, blimey.
Can't leave the place unattended for 5 minutes.
Yeah, literally, you've been gone, whatever, but somebody's pulled you back.
It's
But
all
the three
gone
brains are
pear-shaped.
controlling 5 lab assistants who are normal humans with aren't powered at all, and they've got fire extinguishers, chair legs, and rudimentary weapons, and they've got glazed looks in their eyes, and they all turn to face you and start coming towards you.
Right, I'm rolling my sleeves up.
Do they appear to be menacing?
Well,
I would suggest they probably will be.
if you're a 4-year-old girl, yes, but you are superheroes, so no, they shouldn't be menacing. You know,
I will
but
shapeshift into the Vixen anyway.
okay. So Mike goes first. You don't get. There's no surprise or ambush because it's kind of a mutual
Are we on
thing.
the map for this, or is it just?
No, it's the map. I was going. We can go with you're there. Let's let me hang on. Let me see if I can just
I mean,
quickly.
I'm in roll 20, but I don't know if you want to do that or not, or just rather.
Delete. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to say, for argument's sake, that yes, so we're in roll 20, and I'm going to say that the robots and Miss America turn up late.
Yeah, okay.
They're going to turn up several turns after you, just to make things simpler. Okay, there we go. So how did I say that was based? Okay, so if you can all see that, you're on the platform.
Yep. Which one's me again?
Vixen. So tell me a minute. So you can be this one. This is I did delete. Yeah, I did. I wasn't clever, was I? I did actually delete Mercury Man. That's annoying.
I've dragged myself on. I'm here.
Oh yeah, yes, cool. Yeah, because you'd increased in size, and I didn't. So these guys are the Nazi brains, dismembered brains, and these 6 people here are the lab assistants,
Right.
and everything else is just smashed up. So we can get rid of. Let's get rid of this. This delete. Fix. So we don't need this one. Oh, there's talisman. Talisman can go away. So you all arrive on the platform.
Which one is me again?
So you can go with the yellow cape.
Okay. Oh. Right, so me first, yeah?
Yeah, can you move your character?
Second. It'll be a no.
Okay, so let's do that. Name control by name diamond. That's what diamond that'll do. Control why is that not? There we go. There, diamond geezer. There we go. Control by damage by character settings. Save settings. You should be able to move it now. With the power of the internet.
Yeah, but it's come up against the power of Mike. It's not moving at all.
Okay.
Hang on. Who's blue?
Not you. You're the caped
can't.
crusader. Let's try that
Yeah.
again.
That's the one I was thinking.
Put nameplate determined by character settings. Diamond geezer settings. It should be okay. Not to worry. I'm going to move you to about there.
Yeah, that'd be right.
So, what do you want to do?
Right, these Nazi brains are coming towards us. Are they
No,
in jars?
the brains are just floating. They're telepathically floating. We don't know how, but they seem to be magically floating in the air. Somehow.
Are they? Okay. So are we going to clobber these guys, lads, or are we going to?
I mean, they're Nazis.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what
Right.
else
In that
is
case,
there to do.
I'll swing at the first brain. Give him a bit of.
Okay, so you got to close the distance between you and the brain.
Yeah. I would do if I can move there.
Yeah, that's odd. The fact that you can't.
Yeah, I just wondered. Don't I have to? You send me permissions. You have to physically send me a permission to move.
I've done that. Let's try it again. Open character. Diamond geezer. You've got all that. That looks good. Settings. Nope. Settings. Name diamond geezer. Controlled by determined by character settings. You are diamond geezer.
Now, if I go into settings.
Okay. Oh.
What it says.
Well, should we just go? You see, you're going to clear the distance between here and brain number one, which I'm on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We were starting position 12 squares.
Yeah.
So your movement is 6, isn't it? So you've got to run.
I guess.
Run and punch. Pretty sure movement.
Yeah, he's showing up as 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can do 2 movements to close the gap, and that's 2 frames. We forgot to do well. Yeah, I've got 2 frames. So you've got 2 frames left, essentially. So you can close the gap on the
Right.
Nazis, and you'll have two frames left.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll close on the Nazis and then start swinging.
Cool. So make a hit roll.
Right, it's D20, isn't it? Or is it 2D10?
No, it's
D20.
20.
14.
Roll.
So what's your dexterity? No, sorry, wrong one. Weapons class is
3.
DC. Plus. So you hit,
Okay.
because these are essentially just a floating brain with no limbs, no ability to attack. Well, as far as you can see, no ability to attack you just yet. Just a floating brain. So essentially, don't miss, is what I'm saying. So you hit him. Roll a damage. Did you do a Thundy punch?
Yeah, I mean, I basically did the thing that's going to hurt him the most. It was the most damage because he's a Nazi, so he's going to get it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to.
Stalin lost the war.
Give him a bit of blitzkrieg.
In this timeline, but yes, no, they
Right, so
how much damage do you do a dismembered brain floating midair?
can someone, because I can't see my character sheet.
You do, if you are Sunday punching,
Yeah.
1d6 hit to kill, 3d6 plus 12 hits to coma, and then you have a 33 damage modifier if you put in all of your
1d6
strength into.
1d6 plus 30.
Right, I rolled 5 for what that's worth.
35 points of damage. Full hits to kill because they're Nazis. You hit it, but as you're punching, your fist, instead of being completely clenched, you hit so hard and so fast, a gap opens up in between each fingers. It's just kind of the way the air is coming. You hit the brain, and you can feel the brain squitch through those fingers, and you're holding a piece of this dismembered brain because you've literally just hit a brain. Its only superpower was its mental ability to fly or hover, ignoring the fact it's a dismembered brain and food, and we all fudged it over. There, you punch through this brain, and something just splattered into your hand, and it is sickly, grubby, kind of no blood, but it's all just.
I sort of like look at the mess on my hand and sort of like shake it and sort of like shake my hand
And
to get all.
Of the 6 guys on the what they call the scientists, 2 drop to the floor.
Right. Okay.
So
that means each brain is controlling 2 bad guys. So kill the brain.
That's your perception. That's all your move. Vixen. No, Mercury Man next. Isn't it?
So I've movement. My movement's 5. Then I've got 5M, and then 7 in brackets /15.
7's if you were a taller.
Okay, and the /15.
If you use your growth power, you would have 7 meters move. You may as well fly.
It's fly. Yeah, 15's fly.
Oh, I see. 15's fly. Okay.
Oh yeah, you've all got flight 1 anyway, which is more hover than anything, but supervised. But I can't remember what flight 1 gives you. Whether you get, I don't think flight.
It's 15 meters.
Yeah.
Flight 1 is 15 meters in combat.
Yes.
Yeah, so I want to fly towards. I want to fly towards the closest of the brains.
So 15 in a straight line is going to you're going to have the distance to get there in one turn or one frame. So you can be
15 squares, or
give or take in a straight line, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, including diagonals, more or less 15 to be there.
and then can I grow into combat?
Yes. Now, obviously,
You
the
can.
brain's got no limbs.
Well, actually, what I wanted to do is, I wanted to grow, but then I want to shove the one brain into the other one.
Okay, so we're going to say that is a
Aggressively, obviously.
Throwing.
Sounds like you might have to make a grab.
Yeah. Well, or almost a ping pong like tennis action, a smack from one to the other. I would class as throwing.
Yeah, still implies he's got to grab it first to throw it.
Yeah. Now,
Because there isn't
I'll be
a
pushing.
this
mechanic
thing,
for-
it's a kind of a push, isn't it? This thing is it cannot dodge, cannot strike you back, so it's simply just going to be there to be hit. So it's inanimate, so it's going to be set. Because they're controlling the what they call the scientists. They can't do much else. What with them living in a glass jar for 70 years.
So I'm just going to shove it sideways, smack bang into the one next to it.
Yeah. So make a roll, and we'll see what happens. 15 plus 20. Yeah, that's gonna be hit. So this smacks into the brain, and dice.
Assuming I've got
So
enough frames to do all that.
you 1, 2, 3. You got one frame. Growing into combat is 1. So you've got one frame left. But this one, so the bottom, the furthest brain is the one that takes the most damage. No, that's not correct. The one you hit, because you can take damage from hitting you and damage from hitting another brain, that simply just squishes and collapses to the floor. And 2 more of the scientists collapse to the floor. You've got one frame left. That's right. From there to there's one frame. Grow 1 frame. Hit 1 frame. Yeah, 1 frame left.
I'm just going to hover up vertically and hover in the air.
Okie dokie.
Overlooking.
Vixen.
So are we saying there's one left?
There's one floating Nazi brain left.
In that case, I will use to get within slapping distance.
Mm-hmm.
And then I shall inflict a weapon class 4 martial arts attack on his ass.
Oh, so you do have an eagle flight ring, so you simply fly there 1 frame. That gives you 3 frames left.
So my first attack, that's not very good. A 6.
No.
So even with a +2 strike bonus, that's an 8. Is that still a miss?
Yeah, yeah, because
I
you're
say well, it's
flying there, and you almost like a flying kick, and you've missed a disembodied brain.
which, to be fair, I've never tried a flying kick with actually flying before.
Yeah.
2 frames left, so let's have another. Well, I'm only going to try and kick him anyway, so let's see what happens.
Yep.
9 plus 2 will make 11.
I'll that. These things aren't moving.
Okay.
So,
and because I'm so good with martial arts, I can actually inflict 2d6 plus 3 hits to kill. Yep. So 2d6, 10 plus 3 for 13.
So the brain has already taken some damage, and hitting it, you feel the cerebral cortex collapse in on itself, and it just kind of just gives up and flops to the ground.
Oh, that's quite satisfying.
At which point, so the 2 guys, remaining guys, fall to the ground, and you're left in a room with a bunch of unconscious scientists, an unconscious Dark Narcissus, and some squished Nazi brain.
Well, that's a way off my mind.
Sorry, Mike.
What when?
What did you say?
I said that's a weight off my mind.
Yeah.
We flattened the Nazi brains. Never mind. I'll give up. Been a long day.
Are they still alive? Is the
so all the scientists are alive. They're just kind of unconscious, lying there, asleep.
That's fair enough. Let's check on Dark Narcissus then.
If you want to, if you give me 1 second, I've left a book in the other room. 1 sec.
Anyone remember Dark Narcissus from last time? Because I'm struggling at the moment.
Dark Narcissist or not?
I have honestly forgotten who was at the base, apart from the Clockwork Ouroboros and the Enchantress of Number. I've completely forgotten.
So
I think we'd met the Peacekeepers. I wondered if she was one of them or not, but I can't remember.
So Dark Narcissus is the character that oscillates between being an Asian woman and a bloke, for no reason other than going through my notes several hundred years ago. I had 2 versions of Dark Narcissus and can't remember why I had 2 dark versions.
Can you just remind us what,
Peacekeeper,
where, and why?
So the Peacekeepers.
I cannot remember that character from last time.
So he was with the Peacekeepers. That would have been the group that went to space and disappeared in the 1920s. They were the ones that had been to Anubis's temple at the far end of the universe.
Yeah.
Right.
So unconscious.
Unconscious. I know I don't really have a first aid talent, but as a brilliant scientist, would I suspect that he, she, it will recover given time?
Yes, you can.
Nothing life-threatening as far as I can tell.
Yeah, just unconscious. It's going to
Okey
take a
dokey.
little bit of time to bring them back.
Yeah, okay. Well, she'll be all right then. Looks like somebody's probably given her a good whack or something. I don't know, but I don't think
Yep.
she's in any danger.
Is, so
So there's no sign of anyone else that we know.
No, just
Who
that.
are enchanted.
Looking around, there is blast marks on the walls. There's been a big fight. Looks like somebody fought to get in here.
Those
we
blast
tell
points are too accurate for Jawas.
can we tell what kind of weapons might have been used?
Magical blast. It's almost like there's fireball damage.
Right.
Wow. Blimey neck.
It takes
Where's
probably
Telephone?
an hour to 2 hours. No, probably no. Let's go back. It probably takes you about 35 minutes to wake up Dark Narcissus. Eventually, they come to,
Yeah.
and they're oscillating between the two. And he says, then she says, in essence, that there was a blue light, a gate formed, and somebody stepped through the gate. It looked like some kind of ancient sorcerer, an army. He grabbed the Enchantress of Numbers, and they dragged the Clock Orbus through the portal. Cast some magic on the glass cabinet containing the brains, in which they started to elevate. The peacemakers attempted to attack, but were well, I don't know. Maybe they were kind of transported or teleported out there. I'm not 100% sure. It was all a bit fast and a bit of a blur, if I'm honest.
So whoever this was, they've taken
Oh, there he is. Yep.
the Ouroboros and the Enchantress.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, the peacekeepers, some of them got caught up in the same.
We were all together, and it kind of just, there was a big. We were all trying to attack. There was magic getting kicked around, something rotten. It was crazy. Lot of weird magical stuff going on that I don't quite understand. That's not my forte. And then before I passed out, the dust settled. The scientists were like mumbling around. It looked like I was the last person here. I'm not sure what happened to the rest of the peacemakers. I don't think they fled. That's not quite them. They've gone.
Yeah.
But then something else appeared.
Something else.
Yes. Quite
Take your time.
embarrassed to kind of, well, it looked like a giant humanoid raven man with wings.
Does that set off any? Does that remind us of anything? Are we familiar with
No.
something like that before?
No, there's no idea. he was
you've
rambling
got me.
something in a foreign language that I didn't understand. And then just went.
Hmm.
Oh,
Now's the time to start looking for CCTV cameras in the room that we are currently in.
Yeah, so the CCTV has mostly been damaged. The cameras are gone.
Doesn't necessarily mean the hard drives that recorded the images.
Traditionally, with most urban fantasy, magic has an effect on computers that it tends to fry them for no reason other than that it's that magic versus technology kind of thing,
Yeah.
which feels like a plot device and a bit of bullshit to me. So you can get access to the cameras, and you can see two people come. A gate appears. Two people come through the gate, and you assume one is an old Necromon. There is some bone motifs in his overall appearance. The other guy is what you can describe as a weedy-looking blue guy with a turban.
Oh, right. Okay.
Given the information you were given the last time you were here, you're assuming that guy is Lord Shadowstorm, also known as Aruna, the charioteer of the Hindu gods.
Yes, I'm with you there.
The cameras cannot penetrate beyond the gate. They cannot see other than a swirling mist. So you've got no idea where they're being taken. Lots of blasts, and the footage starts crumpling, starts going, and you're left with a single image, a camera pointing to the ERTP. Darkness is left. You see there's a blast against the peacemakers, and they seem to just vanish. They don't seem to evaporate, but they seem to just almost teleport out. You hope.
Right. Yeah.
But what you do see is is this raven. Let me see if I can get a picture that doesn't have their name on it. If you bear with me, I'll see. So this raven man thing, that would work if I. That's the coolest picture. Let's go with it. Yeah. So let's have a go. Let's see if I can. I'm just going to see if I can get this image.
Okay.
So yeah, it's wearing. We'll do is no. We'll get rid of his legs, so you can't read what it says. Actually, no, I can do that, can't I? So yeah, crazy looking guy. Really almost celestial without it being actually celestial. So I'm going to go with that picture. Oh, I can do this, can't I? You move.
You're doing this on Discord, yes?
I'm going to do it on Discord. I'm just simply cheating, getting the image.
Cropping it, yeah.
Quickly cropping it and quickly rubbing out his name, because you don't need his name just yet. Dumph. So did that work?
Post it and find out.
Where's Discord gone? So we're going to plus. Here we go.
Ooh,
That's what you see.
blimey.
Literally just like that.
Or not, as the case may be. Which one is it in? Is it general? Yeah.
Mask chat.
Oh, interesting.
Very.
Ooh.
And he
So do
says
we-
something. Do we have audio on on the CCTV recordings?
Let's use the magical any situation outcome table. Roll me. Would you have? I'm going to say it's a medium chance. Roll a 1d6, and I'll tell you whether you have it.
Roll a 1d. Oh, come back. There you go. A
5.
5.
Yes, there is audio.
So let's
So
see if we can either understand what this thing says, or if we can't understand it, try to run it through some kind of translation software.
Google Translate.
Aero translate, probably, by the looks of it.
But with Vlad being a mechanical scientist, as opposed to myself, I'm assuming he might be able to figure this out for us.
Yeah, well, I think want voice recognition to turn it into some kind of.
So the voice recognition is picking up a kind of a dialect of Hindu,
Ooh.
a slightly earlier dialect, but it's still picking it up.
So we should be able to, with the voice recognition, turn it into perhaps some Hindu text, which then can be translated.
So it's speaking.
I
Awadu,
can't quite get it.
Awadhi, which is an Indo-Aryan language spoken in the Awadh region of Uttar Pradesh in northern India.
Gosh.
So I guess
It's
is some.
regarded as the homeland of the Hindu god Rama. Only this ain't Rama. Now you're as au fait with Hindu gods as you as a player are. So I guess you know the blue one, the elephant one, the one with lots of faces, and Shiva. Probably the
It's
4 that
about
you
that.
know.
Kali? Is Kali one of
Kali,
them?
Shiva. Is it Kali or Shiva? The death
Ganesh.
one. They're all like Ganesh is the elephant man.
Yeah.
One of the coolest. I mean, if you're not going to worship Zoroaster, the fire god, I'd go with the blue elephant man. I mean, that
Yeah.
ticks all the boxes, surely, because that's a giant elephant human man. I mean, yeah, I'll have some of that.
Perfect.
So he says, I'm going to murder this, but we'll have a go. Kaka Buhus Hyundai.
Sounds all Greek
Oh yes.
to me.
The current Kali Yuga is ending. It is time for time to be put back in its place. Where is Pythagoras' box? Which obviously saying this in ancient Hindu. Dionysus is obviously like, it's all pops and clicks, mate. I haven't got a clue. Doesn't know what he's saying. So obviously this whilst this guy's beak is opening and closing, there is a degree of malleability to the beak, so it is forming words, consonants, and it is speaking properly without a click clack chirpy kind of thing. And you almost hear him go huff as he kind of pops out. So I will give you that his name again. The spelling comes up as K-A-K-A-L-A. KABHUSHUNDI.
Kakabushundi.
Yeah, Kakabushindi. Kakabushindi.
And that's not knowing if that's the actual pronunciation, but it's about as close as I can get
Yeah.
to it.
Kakabushindi. Yeah, that's, I looked at the Sanskrit and it's all squiggles, but this is an awesome character.
Is he like a messenger of the Hindu gods or something? If not a god, then
He's a follower of Rama, or a devotee of Rama, but he is immortal. But he's also able to travel through time.
Show off.
In one story, he has the ability to flip around in time. It appears, which
I wonder why he wants
quite
the Antikythera device then.
don't know. But you do know at some point the Antikythera device has to go back to Antikythera to be put in the sea, to rust, to be found in 1909.
So I'm not saying he was looking for us, but he knew that the Antikythera device had been here.
yeah, it seems so.
Now, maybe that's because he's a time-traveling Hindu deity, or he's got some sort of powers that can tune into time travel. I'm not sure, but... And he mentioned the Kali Yuga, which I think is some kind of age of chaos.
Each of the Earth moments are in. It's the fourth and worst of 4 yugas of the Yuga cycle, preceded by Davpriyama Yuga, followed by Kitira or Satya Yuga, which is apparently the present age, full of conflict and sin. Yeah. So the Kali Yuga is the final age before the Earth stops and begins again, kind of thing.
Right.
So it's very much like the Aztecs cycle of, what do they call it? I can't remember what they call it, but there's the cycles of Earth, ages. As Tolkien put it, the ages of man, as it were.
Yeah.
So whether he's coming from coming from the future or the past, or you don't know, but he's there. There is a thing about time with his history. The other thing is obviously Aruna, Aruna, is also a Hindu god.
Yeah.
Who's if memory serves, is a weedy little can't say check. He's a weedy little guy.
So we had Necromon and Aruna appeared first, and then this guy showed up.
Yes.
How much time between?
Running the tape backwards and forwards, you think it looks somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes, because obviously the cameras are blown up, so you kind of estimate about 10 to 20 minutes.
And the first portal had disappeared. So
yep, that's all gone and done and dusted.
Sorry.
That was all done and dusted. Yes.
I mean the Necromon and Aruna came through a portal. And
yes.
then
and
left.
The portal closed. And then he turned up.
Right. And it was Necromon and Aruna that did all the damage.
Yes.
And this guy just dropped in to say something to.
Yeah, it looked like you think he came looking for you.
But he spoke to Dark Narcissus, or
Yeah, well, whoever was left, really. So your
Yeah.
Dark Sisters.
yeah. Hmm. Oh, is there anything after all the damage is done? Is there anything salvageable around here? And what do you propose we do next, chaps?
Prior to returning from Camp Hero, you had, in essence, 3 options. Go straight to the Mirrorlands, or through Necromon's plane of death, which you couldn't do without. The only gate was Joseph Cartophilius's grave in the Anubis Temple at the end of the galaxy.
Mm.
The other thing, given that you now know who Lord Shadowstorm is, the Enchantress of Numbers, or the Clockwork Orbis, had told you that the belief was Aruna had trapped the Hindu gods and in the perpetual garden party,
Yeah.
where they sit drinking tea in an English garden in India, what looks like an Indian garden in India. So you were almost left with a couple of choices. You have 2 big bads to defeat. Aruna's the charioteer for Surrey. I should have picked a group of gods that I could pronounce. Really, I think Surya. Surya. Anyway, the sun god.
Yeah.
Given that this is the second time Aruna's done this, the first time was during the Singularity Bomb incident. It's probable, if you could release the Hindu gods, they may take they may see what Arun has done as being bad and punish him for it. Gods are quite fickle, but even so, he used Brahma's weapon, the Singularity Bomb, made up of the Benben stone, the black stone that's sitting the side of Mecca, and I can never remember what the third bit of the Singularity Bomb is.
I'm afraid I've forgotten as well.
You wouldn't be the only one.
I want to say it's the Grail, but the version of the Grail that the Nazis had the Coming Race. Whoever wrote the Coming Race, his idea of the Grail was a stone. So it might have been that. I'm not that important, but that was your options.
Yeah.
Well, it all basically all boils down to who do we want to fight first.
Well, you could get away with not fighting Aruna by potentially releasing the Hindu gods.
The rest of the Hindu gods, yeah.
Perhaps.
What would be the downside of that?
You have no
Other than
idea.
the Hindu gods probably wouldn't give 2 hoots about us, and we could get killed in the crossfire. I don't quite know.
Well, yeah.
It's difficult to tell what a god would do.
What I'm saying is, if we release these Hindu gods, are they just as likely to try and take over the world or do scheming things?
In the Mahabharata, they used Vaminas to wage war in the skies against each other. There is a old Indian town. Name escapes me, but it's highly radiative, full of radiation and lots of damage. Radioactive. That's it. Well, I can't remember the name of the town. It's quite a famous destroyed city that I knew, but it's gone. Can't think. I'll think of it soon. So you don't know. You have something. Mike's character. No, not Mike's character. But Mike has experience of killing gods. You've killed a few gods in the past. But yes, during the Franks trilogy, you killed God with an Excalibur.
Right. Okay. That. Yeah. And then was it Steve,
then the end happened.
Shot me in the head. Yeah.
That was something else.
One of these days, you're going to give me a chance to get my own back.
Oh, that was so fun. Anyway, so yes, you don't know what if you think what would actually happen if somebody released. I'm trying to think of a god. Not so much Thor, because we can't. Not we know what Thor would do, but you've seen enough Marvel films to that be not quite the case. But I think look at the opening sequence of the last Thor film when he meets when Gore meets Rapa Nui, the Rapa Nui is kind of like he sees humans as specks of dirt. So the Singularity Bomb was the Maresta. It's said to be able to destroy the whole universe, capable of destroying creation and vanquishing all things, and that is what Aruna had.
Well,
fine, because you can only use it once.
Yes. Well, that's embarrassing. Is that embarrassing? That is slightly embarrassing. Obviously, it's Aruna, but it's not. It's Arjun. No, we're going to stick with the charity here. We can ignore this guy. That guy doesn't exist, because that's the guy I used previously. Anyway, so yes. So what are your plans? I guess your options would be to find a way to get to the Perpetual Garden Party, given that the Clockwork Orbis knew where it was or knew about it. It's possible in their records they may be able to assist with that, or using the information that Dark Knight Systems might be able to give you, getting to the temple at the end of the universe. What do you want to do first?
What?
If you do the Perpetual Garden Party first, that potentially means you only have one person to deal with when you get to the Mirrorlands.
Sounds like a plan.
And Necromon may, in fact, you might get lucky and have Necromon be a second to be collateral damage to the Hindu gods grabbing Aruna.
Yeah. Can you just remind me what's at the Anubis temple that we would want to go there?
At the Anubis temple is the coffin, the last resting place of Joseph Cartophilius, the wandering Jew, and he is buried with a gate or a mechanism to get to the Mirrorlands.
Got it. Okay.
So if we did that and we managed to activate the gate, that's us going to the Shadowlands, but not with any heavy hitting backup.
No. So you've obviously got you can so at the moment as you're talking and going for the footage, the 4 zealots and renegade turn up. So they are your will be your backup. Certainly, the zealots will be useful for extra firepower.
Ooh. Hello, nice of you to join us.
I'll give you those 5 as backup. So,
Well, where
what-
to then?
I have got no idea how to summon Hindu gods.
you have to you assume, given they're stuck in the perpetual garden party, there must be some mechanism when you get there to release them. As to what that is, you're not sure, but that's where you are kind of heading, as it were.
So, but we've no idea where this
You haven't done any
guide.
you haven't looked on the computer systems and in their records. To determine whether there is, whether you can find out where the perpetual garden party is.
Shall we give it a try then, Vlad?
Yep. Okay. I'll jump right on. And sorry, did you say there was a ERTP here?
Yeah. So you are at the ERTP now. All the rumors and legends about the ERTP is that it was set up because the mathematical calculations are so heavy or so complicated. It was set up to send information to do 2 events: to go to the space station, the wooden space station floating around the moon, and the hollow moon of Mars, where the big chemical weapon is pointing at Mars. However, the Octopic Oribus has been using the ERTP for lots of things, indicating that, in fact, the calculation's not that hard, and it's quite possible to use it to jump around a fair bit, which is what looks like they've been doing.
All right.
So tapping away on the system, and you effectively type in, you Google perpetual garden party, Hindu gods, blah, and there is a kind of a footnote in which members of the so it was agents of DICE had found a doorway in a ruined Indian temple that phased them into the perpetual garden party. The notes kind of go into details of the location of the ruined temple and how they activated the doorway and what was in the perpetual garden party. So all the Hindu gods were sitting around cast iron white tables on chairs, drinking English tea, basically chatting.
Intriguing.
The coordinates for the temple and the location of the doorway, along with the coordinates for the Anubis temple, are all on the system.
Excellent.
You simply need to put in code 1, code 2, etc.
Right then.
Darkness Sisters would be able to punch the button, send you to the perpetual garden party or the temple, and then you find the dimensional gateway into the phased out Perpetual Garden Party. Once you're back at that ruined temple, punch the button and you can be transported back to Cornwall. He's quite happy to do that, or transported to the end of the universe, beyond the Kepler belt.
Right. So, shall we do the garden party then?
I must admit, I'm very intrigued about it, and they must. If we can explain it to them properly, it might just be the best idea we've got. I think they might just decide that Aruna needs a good slapping.
Yeah. Almost certainly.
So, yeah, gets my vote.
So are you ready to jump to the ruined temple that will take you to the Perpetual Garden Party?
Just I don't know if we have the right outfits for a garden party, but
I just hope they've got finger sandwiches.
The cucumber sandwiches and other horrendous Pims. Lots of Pims.
That's it.
Be a horrendous English tea party that the poor Hindu gods are trapped in.
Oh, you.
So
So would you tell me they might have those little triangle, those little tiny sandwiches?
yeah, with cucumbers in them.
Old.
And macaroons and other horrible sweets like that. So that you climb onto the platform.
Yeah.
Everyone nods to each other. Darkness just punches the button, and you feel yourself faxed through space, arriving at a ruined temple in a small courtyard, where to the right-hand side there looks to be a mirror of Shallott, but it is flickering with energy. So the notes indicated that whilst there was a mirror of Shallott there, this particular mirror of Shallott had been adapted to take you to the Perpetual Garden Party, which kind of exists not so much out of time, but out of phase slightly, just enough for the Hindu gods not to realize they were in a kind of almost a time bubble. They're trapped there.
Oh, okay. Oof.
All right. Well, are we supposed to enter in through that, do you think, Sally?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I would say so.
Who wishes to go first?
Oh, in for a penny, in for a pound. Off you
Natalie,
go,
really
geezer.
like, I'm assuming you're back in normal form and not still in fox form.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Right, sorry guys, I'll turn my mic off. Sorry.
That's right.
I said I'll go first. If anybody's
Okay.
anybody's.
Yeah, the paid indestructible help.
Yep. Right behind you.
Yep.
What
do you mean overtime? You want a 0 hours contract? So, Diamond, as you step through the mirror, and you feel like you've been pulled through. You've experienced time travel. You've experienced going through different dimensions, other parallel worlds.
This is all old news to me then.
Yeah, but it just feels like you've been elongated, stretched.
Yeah.
and you arrive almost in a space between worlds.
Okay.
You get a sense that actually you should have been going a tiny bit further to the party. Beyond, you can see it's almost in your peripheral vision, but you can see the garden party. There's a large, lush green lawn, lots of white cast iron tables, and all the Hindu gods are standing around it. But standing in front of you is a rather tall looking humanoid raven with
Would that be
with
the chap we were looking at?
I'm going to call it a purple nappy, but it's probably got it's got a purple nappy. He looks exactly like that image.
Yeah.
And he looks you up and down. And his fingers got this purple magical, sparks coming off. And he speaks perfect English this time, from the last time you heard him. He says,
Question.
Yes. Yep.
Is he speaking perfect English, or am I hearing perfect English?
You're not sure.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Is it?
Whilst the beak is moving, it's moving up and down, and there's some undulation of the size of the beak, but you're not sure whether the beak is speaking, or he's speaking ancient Hindu, but you're hearing English, or he's actually speaking. It's almost like you're not 100% sure. But he says to you, as he kind of cocks his head to one side, left and right, he goes, no, you don't have it. Where's the other one? Come forward.
I don't know who you're talking about. Well, I'll go forward. Yes, go on.
Okay. So the other two of you who are in the courtyard of the ruined temple,
I'll go next.
Now the temple, as far as I can remember, had a really cool history and a logic to why I used it, but I can't find my notes for it, so I'm not going to make it up just in case I find it again, because pretty sure it was a really cool ruin that I found in India somewhere. So you step through. So which one of you has the Antikythera device?
I think that's me.
Okie dokie. So Mercury Man, you step through, and there's a giant humanoid raven man. He looks at you, looks you up and down. He goes, "No, you don't have it. Send in the other one."
So I'll step forward and to the side to make room.
And seeing as though I haven't heard any deafening screams of agony, I'll follow Vlad through.
So you step through, and in front of you, before you get to the Perpetual Garden Party, is a large raven man with wings and a purple nappy.
Ooh, Kakabushundi. I give the pronunciation.
It takes a step back slightly because there's a degree of shock that you actually know who he is. He says, "Oh, that is correct. It is time to return the key of time. This is the moment. It's this moment that we return it to the sea."
I'll hand it over.
Hands it over. He looks at it and goes, "You haven't damaged it too much. It's a shame for it to rot in the sea for the next 2,000 years. But time is a fickle thing. I guess you might be wanting this." He puts his hand in his pocket and he pulls out a small black obsidian object that looks like it's just a round, not a round. It's a kind of a tube, a solid tube of obsidian. And he hands
Like
it
a
to.
cylinder.
That's it. That's the word I was on. Cylinder. Just completely. My mind would not allow me to find the word, because he hands it to you and says, "If you give this to Brahma, the illusion of the party will end, and the gods will roam the earth."
Thank you. Most gracious of you.
Do not give it to Shiva.
Brahma, not Shiva.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Shiva will do terrible things
Mm.
on her own. Brahma will know what to do. If you ask politely, Brahma may give you a not sure what the English word is, but it's not wish, but it is wish.
I thought you were going to say a piece of his mind or something like that.
No, he will give you a token, a gift,
Yeah.
as it were.
Okay.
But I now have
you.
to go drop this where it is required. If we do meet again, it won't be under as polite circumstances. And he just kind of evaporates into dust. And you now no longer have the Antikythera device. But you do have some little metal, this obsidian thing.
Mm.
And that space between the mirror and the perpetual garden party kind of collapses into one. You're now standing in a grass field, a garden. There's you can kind of see a country house. You get the sense you are in a version of India, an English version, at the height of the Raj.
Yes.
All of these weird and wonderful pantheon of Hindu gods are just sitting there. It's almost crazy. It's the weird images, the weird gods. You've got
They are particularly
elephant,
strange, I have to say.
Ganesh, Krishna, Shiva, Rama, Vishnu. Where's Brahma? Maybe it's Vishnu.
I'm picturing a version of the Mad Hatter's Tea Party for some reason.
Yeah, it's like the Smurfs on acid. Yeah, I like that, Smurfs on acid. So, Krishna.
Smurf, isn't it?
So, Krishna is on his little panpipes, dancing around.
And I've just looked up the 12 main gods of Hinduism, if you'd like me to read them out.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the image up.
Shiva,
Yeah, plus
Parvati, Krishna, Vishnu, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Nataraja, Devi, Saraswati, Shakti, Buddha, Kali, Murugan, Patanjali, Hanuman. And they are apparently the 12 main gods.
I'd have pitched Buddha as a prophet of the Hindu gods. Big fat lazy guy.
I'm not looking at anything specific. It's just a search on Google. So
yeah, I'm no expert on the Hindu gods. I just found some cool ones. So where's that image gone again? So they all seem to be having a specific thing they're doing. they also have multiple hands. So Rama and Indra are deep in conversation. Kali is eating spiders. Shiva seems to be sharpening weapons. Parvati and Lashmi seem to be giggling over something. Ganesh seems to be having a conversation with Vishnu and Brahma, but Brahma and Vishnu are giggling because Ganesh seems to be quite nasal in his when he's talking, and it's almost like you've got three teenage boys sitting round a table, and one of them's got a speech impediment, and the other two are deliberately trying to make the one with the speech impediment say the words he can't say that easily.
Is there a Wadawek?
Yeah. I don't know. Can I have a cup of tea? And Vishnu's going, a cup of what? No, a cup of tea. I want to have a cup of tea. A free ticket in my tea. It's almost embarrassing, but quite funny.
I'd probably try to
And
get
Brian's
John
like, who said that?
and Ross to do something similar if I met him in a pub.
Yeah. Yes, it's I remember. Oh, this is terrible. There's a guy with a stutter. I worked for many years ago. Did some technical support for help desk. And a guy with a stutter rang up, and we like these ones because you could, as long as you were pretty sure you knew what he wanted, you could get him to the guy. Go, I've got a problem with my sister, and you know he was going to say CD. But you could then go stereos. We don't do stereos here. So no, my sister. And you could think of every word other than the CD because it got boring and you could have fun with it. I'm not saying it was the 90s. We got away with a lot, not as much as we got away in the 80s. But so anyway, they're sitting around and they're just doing normalish stuff. Krishna seems to be playing the same tune over and over again, but it's almost like they are trapped in a kind of a loop. That it's just you can feel it in the air. There's a degree of it's almost like it's a hallucinatory landscape that they are in, that they're not aware that they're in, because they're just it's pleasant. They have no reason not to think they're just having a cup of tea with the rest of their friends, as it were.
Yeah.
So you see this, there's food, and the food it appears that it gets eaten, and almost a few seconds later it reappears, like it's perpetual. Brahma is the god with 4 arms and loads of faces. There's some really crazy pictures of him with thousands of faces.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That one.
Don't give it to Shakti. I'll say to Sally.
Don't give it to Shiva.
Shiva, or was it? Oh.
Shit. Yeah, and she Diamond Geezer wandering over, handing over this. No, not she. What's he doing? I
was always supposed to know.
I wasn't listening to the Raven bloke.
I know these bloody Hindu gods; they all look the same to me.
Oh. Apart from the Elephant Man.
Yeah.
So,
shall we see if we can interrupt?
how do you propose to do that?
Well, it seems that we have an idea who Brahma is. I'm going to sidle up. And then, hopefully in a commanding and yet genteel fashion, in a slightly raised voice, but not trying to come over as pushy, I will say, my lords and ladies of the Hindu pantheon, I seek audience with Brahma the Creator.
So there's a moment when the tingling of the magic in the air almost kind of stops briefly, but not. So they've been doing this loop for hundreds of thousands of years, thousands of years. But in stepping in and speaking to them for the second time in 10 years, the magic has briefly paused a tiny bit. The last time was when the agents of Dice turned up to investigate something. So Brahma turns one of his heads,
Yeah. Creepy.
anywhere between 3 and 1,000, and speaks to you, but you hear English.
Thank goodness.
He's speaking ancient Hindu, but you are speaking English. Then you remember you have Legion flight. You have not Legion. You have Eagle
Kestrel
flight rings.
Eagle, sorry. Yeah.
It's Kestrel flight ring. So you are assuming that in addition to flight, that thing may have some kind of universal Google Translate built in.
Awesome.
Mhm.
So, but this seems to only activated when a person speaks to you. So when you hear something through a computer, you have to translate it manually.
Mhm.
Ah, right. Okay.
So actual-wise, that's just because I forgot then. But this, so he turns to you and says, "I am Brahma, Hindu god of creation. Please, my subject, what ails you?"
My lord, I have a gift for you from your loyal servant Kakabushundi, and I shall proffer the obsidian cylinder.
And how are you going to do that?
I will respectfully get down on one knee and hold the cylinder out to Brahma with both hands
Yeah.
and bowed head.
Okay. Whilst you're doing that, there's a flash. You can't see it, but Dharma Gisa and Mercury Man can see it. And Shiva steps in front of Brahma and says, "Oh, I will take this."
Close me hands.
Well, if I can, I'll try to prevent her taking it. But I think Vixen has a better chance of doing that.
We disintegrated, so how rude of you! How rude of you, Brahma. I think we should just send these imbeciles away. What have they done? What have they done? Well, I was going to take the object of what is it, a little stone, and hand it to you, so you wouldn't have to rise, my lord. But no, this insignificant speck of a thing. These are white things. These aren't even my people. These are our people. These are just colonizers from another land. Away with you. Away with you.
Can I just interject somewhat, please, Ref?
Yeah.
At this particular point, having met the deity and having freeform shape change, I will use my power to Kabushundi. Including purple nappies.
To do what? Sorry.
You can shape change into.
I haven't used this power before, Vlad, so feel free to act surprised.
Yes, I think he will look.
The other two jump on you, try and wrestle back the key of time. That's how I went terribly. It went so badly wrong. They beat me up. Oh yeah. No. Okay. So that you can instantaneously turn to
Kakabushindi.
Kawabundy, Kakabushindi, yeah. And Shiva steps back, three spaces, three steps, not just one, three. And Brahma says, so you have finally come to our garden party, Kaka.
With
He's
great
not going to call him Kaka.
reason.
He's not going to call him
With
K
great
Dog, is he?
reason, my lord.
But you can see of all the heads, they all kind of tilt to one side. So you know that he knows that you aren't the big K.
That'll do for me.
And he stands up, and the heads kind of look. The whole head kind of turns to Shiva. He goes, I've got this. He steps forward in front of Shiva and puts his hand out.
Sorry, who was this? Brahma?
Brahma. This is the first time that somebody he has stood up for thousands of years.
In that case,
I feel like I feel when I'm trying. Yeah.
I'll step up my bended knee, and once again, I will offer the black obsidian cylinder to him, and only him. This is for you, my
So
lord.
he touches it, and there's like a whoosh, almost like that scene with a nuclear explosion when all the houses are just blown asunder. In Terminator, they're kind of blown apart. There's like a whoosh of the illusion breaking.
It's either that or it's Godzilla farting.
They all kind of all the gods shake, and they're like, "What the hell?" Or whatever the Hindu version of that profanity is. He says, "Puny human, tell me, what has happened?" For I cannot see what has happened.
I will shift back to good old Dr. Sally Blake.
Yep.
Lord Brahma, the Creator, we have met your servant Kakabushundi, and he gave us the honourable task of delivering this stone to you in order to release you and your fellow deities from the trap that you all in. He has rescued you all from the perpetual tea garden, tea party even.
Aruna, you say? You broke up. I'm assuming you said
I'd forgotten. we believe that Aruna set the trap that has kept you all here for so long, and he is
again. I thought this was dealt with. Okay. This
he once again has designs on ruling the universe.
And you can see that, like, all of the Ashokara, his access to the Ashokara records.
The
now,
Akashic,
yeah. That now means he now knows everything that's gone on. In a almost, he's a deity. In a split second, almost know what's going on. It says, okay, we will deal once and for all with Aruna. You can return to your quest, and we will deal with the upstart.
Thank you, my lord. I was glad to be of service. Just like a Douglas Adams lift tool.
And within 10 minutes, you are back at the temple and have teleported back to Cornwall via the ERTP.
Oh.
Maybe a few hours have gone past, but you resolve.
I need a cup of tea.
So,
Oh,
do you wish to
wow.
go to the temple at the end of time? At the end of time, the end of the universe.
After a bit of
Yep.
light supper.
Yeah.
So what you do know is that in addition to the peacemakers being there, Mercury Man has also been to the temple, or at least he's been to the outside of the temple. The temple sits in a Dyson sphere. There's a hollow moon beyond the Kepler belt, with a big hole on one side. Spaceships come in and they dock in the center. In the center of that that satellite is a rock platform which has a number of spaceships attached. Over the course of a millennium, you'll find starships dock. Some stay, some don't. The people that live there, the people that get out, vanish. So you'll get old, decaying ships. If you ever to go to the bottom of the Dyson sphere, is like a graveyard of ships that have just lost power and slowly drifted down. The ship that Mercury Man stowed away on was docked there, and the peacemakers stole it and came back to Earth. That's how Mercury Man got to Earth.
Okay.
I believe. No, you didn't come with the peacemakers because they came recently. So you found a ship, and you got out of Dodge quite quickly, but you didn't go into the temple.
Yeah, I think that's right.
The coordinates are only for that platform because of the nature of the temple. It's only for that platform.
Right, so how do we get there? Because we don't have the device anymore.
You have the coordinates. No, but you have the ERTP.
Oh,
The
yeah.
ERTP
Right.
can be used for.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, and what was it we needed from the Anubis, from the temple?
You need to go and find the coffin of Joseph.
Cartophibius, yeah. Because that will take us to the Mirrorlands, potentially.
Yeah.
Yes, I've forgotten some of the threads, actually. I've forgotten who's supposed to be giving the Moonblade to and things like that.
So ultimately, you have the Moonblade, and you can use that to kill Necromon. Because he has moved from the Deadlands into the Mirrorlands and killed Dionysus. Dionysus is Lancelot's dad. Lancelot is, in fact, I can't remember the name of the what's Lancelot's real name. Doesn't matter. So you are tasked with Zagreus, or he may or may not be Zagreus. Yeah, that's it. Bran, Lancelot's traditional dad, is in fact Dionysus. So Dionysus is dead. But what's her name? The woman you met that can bring him back, who cannot get to the Mirrorlands, is not Shallott. That's it, Rhea. Oh, so Lady Shallott is Rhea. She can't access the Mirrorlands. but she could bring Dionysus back from the dead, which she's done before.
Yes.
So if you can get to the Mirrorland, either defeat Necromon or somehow open a gateway for Rhea to come and rescue Dionysus, or potentially even bring Dionysus out. Your only problem is you don't have the key of time. You just have the ERTP, which is only available at the top, the Anubis Temple, on the outside of the Anubis Temple. So you would need to get to the Mirrorlands, potentially grab Dionysus or kill Necron or do whatever, but get back through the gate into the Anubis Temple, outside the Anubis Temple, at which point the ERTP could pick you up.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So first step is to program the ERTP to take us to the platform.
It's pre-programmed. There was pre-programmed that the Clockwork Orbis had done. You assume that you know that the Clockwork Orbis and the Lady of Enchantress Numbers are stuck with Necromon. You assume in the Mirrorlands.
Yes, I am rather assuming that, since what's his name? Lord Shadow Star, I think, or Shadow Storm, one or the other.
Yep, Shadow Storm. But you're going to assume that he's being pulled asunder by the rest of the Egyptian Hindu gods.
Right, so just as I was thinking about trying to program this thing, I realized it's already been programmed.
Yep.
So, well, chaps, looks like all I have to do is press this button. And
Do it. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, come on, let's get going.
So climb
anything
the
else?
platform, and you can take with you the Zealots, and Renegade can be there in the background. There's a whoosh and the feeling of being faxed through time, and you arrive sort of here. A floating rock in the middle of a vast blackness, which is the inside of the Dyson Sphere, and what looks like an ancient doorway of stone edifice with cry iconography around the side. There's a number of spaceships that are attached here, docked. Mercury Man, you notice there's a couple more than the last time you were here. A couple less. There's a wreck of what looks like a barge of tar on one side. She's got like a galleon, flat-bodied galleon thing that's decaying one side. This is an ancient Cry temple. This particular Cry temple is dedicated to a dog-headed deity. You're assuming that Anubis must therefore be one of, or a Cry god.
Yeah.
These are these dog-headed creatures, drackle-headed creatures that have been to Earth before and attacked during the Crossfire incident.
Okay, I'm just trying to remember my relationship to.
There was, I think, there was an extra piece of text about the Anubis temple. I think you don't think you went inside. You went to the. You kind of like not hijacked. You stowed away on a ship and stole another one, got to Earth. So the temple itself is white basalt rock. The actual temple facade has been built out of the rock. The door has no keys, just a push plate.
So is this a top-down view?
Yeah.
And so that's the square is the platform.
Yeah. So you almost see it's really badly drawn. Sort of like that.
Ah, okay.
But better drawn than that.
Yeah, and we're on top of this.
You're here. This is a human
right.
being.
Okay.
He needs another leg. Let's put his other
For a
leg.
second there, it looked like a tree,
Yeah.
and I realised he had nothing to stand on.
Oh, don't mention the Wormwood Synod just yet.
Oh yes. It's Wormwood Synod. They're down in Oh no, you've done the I've done the Wormwood Synod. So there's a weird door, and that was thousands of years ago. The wormwood thingy, panspermia. So really, there you go. That's my. I can't draw. Okay, that's the door. If you push it,
I believe that was Cry. Yeah.
push the door.
Yeah, because we've got to get in there.
It
So
opens
yeah, let's give it a
inwards.
push.
Yeah.
And it's utter darkness, and then you see a step, and then a massive black void going off into the distance inside. It's almost it's a TARDIS-like room, much bigger on the inside than the outside. Its entire dimension. The stairs are floating in midair, and each step is I'm going to say a meter by I'm trying not to do in inches. 25 centimeters.
That's
As you
about
put your foot on the first step,
7 or 8 inches.
2 inches. Yeah, but as you put your foot on the first step, 2 more appear, just floating in midair. You can't see beyond those 2. You have to take 1 step at a time.
Yeah.
But they appear just as you. It's ripped straight from, I think it's Teen Titans, where they go to Trigon's lair. There's a dimensional kind of stairway in there. But you start walking down the stairs. It's a mile from top to bottom.
Blimey.
It's quite a big at the bottom. I'm going to quickly draw this. So you come out here, and there are room 1, room 2. Where's it gone? Zoomed out, lost it. And room 3. So you arrive here. No.
Okay.
You arrive here, walking down into this room. In this room, it's almost as if there are these rooms are slightly out of phase. So there are 3 doors, 1 to each of these rooms, but they are slightly, almost like they're like 2 or 3 hertz out. So they're there, but they're just each room is taking up the same space, but aren't touching each other. There is an overlap, but the overlap is but they're not touching each other. It's weird to describe. So they're there, but they're almost through, physically through, but not through. And this is all Egyptian iconography, yet still cry.
Yeah, okay.
The doors are
Reminiscent of
all
ancient Egyptian,
open.
but different.
Yeah. So the doors are all open, and it's almost pre-dynastic. The hieroglyphs. Doors are all open. In the right-hand room, there are the bodies of some kind of humanoids in suits. It looks like, from what you were given from the briefing of the peacemakers, is whoever they stole the ship from, they trapped in here, so they must have starved to death. And there's not much in the room other than these bodies. Yes,
these must be the original crew.
Yeah, so the peacemakers had a fight with a group upstairs, and they were chucked into this room. The middle room appears to be a temple of Anubis. It is here that in 1920, whatever it was, the peacemakers found themselves trapped in some kind of suspended animation for almost 100 years for some unknown reason. They were pulled through time and space when they entered a temple in the Valley of the Kings just before Carter had got there. They were there hunting something. It was John Ball that had assisted Howard Carter. Although John Ball was out of time, he had moved there from the 60s to the 20s. But it is in the final room that you find coffins.
Oh, multiple
coffins. Each has various markings on.
Yeah.
You have to determine which
yeah.
Eeny, meeny, miny,
one
moe.
you require.
Open the coffin and
So
here we go.
Nothing's going to just say Simon Cartophilius.
Might say Joshua Cartophilius.
How many coffins?
Oh, was that his name? Sorry.
Yeah, Joseph Cartophilius. I'm pretty sure it's Joseph, is it? Let me just double. I'm pretty sure it is Joseph.
Okay, well, at least it was still biblical. So are you saying that we do find that says that?
So you don't find anything that says anything along those lines. Okay. Just 3 coffins. Given just how important? No, just how important this particular where you are, or how important's the wrong word. It's the others might be. It might be beneficial, or it might be dangerous to open the other coffins. So you need to be 100% sure as to which coffin you're going to choose.
Do they look the same, or are there differences?
All of them are identical.
Is there any dust? Does it look like they've not been disturbed?
Yes, there is dust. Yes, there is dust, and they don't look like they've been disturbed for a millennium.
And equally
Oh.
so. Not like one has got
Yes,
less.
equally so. Yes.
Hmm.
I'm
Can I tell
struggling with this one. Yeah.
Can I tell what they're made of? Stone?
Obsidian.
It
A
is
lot of obsidian going about.
Yeah.
It's just essentially volcanic glass, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, just
So there are. That's what I want. There it is. That's what I want. So there are a number of symbols as you start blowing dust away.
well, and I'll give them a good, a thorough clean then.
So that's what I want. Boxy thing. One appears to be a series of concentric U's on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
One looks like looks like two triangles on top of each other. Another looks like a weird three-fingered hand with two thumbs. That's all three, isn't it? So the U-shaped thing, all the triangles, and the weird hand.
Is that what I've drawn there? Is that roughly representative of the U's?
Where you gone? Yes.
And the other one you said was triangles.
Yeah, so pencil, freehand. So yeah, I'm going to butcher this, aren't I? So I'm going to butcher this, but it is that one. And the last one is going to be let's see if I can get this right. Let's go with this.
So that's the. How did you describe it?
A
The
weird
the
hand
hand
with two thumbs.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
the one. Right. Okay. Yes.
upside down hand thing.
Yeah.
Trying to find the names of the bloody things.
All the Star of David or the Star of Solomon or whatever it is, the middle one.
So
Yeah, it looks
so the middle,
very
so the
much
Star
like
of David is the hexagram.
Yeah.
That's obviously the classic Star of David. The what looks like a hand is the Hamish hand.
So it's like a Greek thing.
It is the protection against the evil eye.
Right.
Oh, right.
And then the other one is the menorah, which is a seven-branched light.
So shouldn't there be a vertical stem in that then?
Yeah, there should be. We can go. My drawing skills are, especially with this. Yes, that's it. That's the menorah. So it's you found the menorah on one, the Star of David on a second, and the evil eye on the third.
So which one is more likely to be associated with Joseph Cartophilius?
do you know about Joseph of
It's
Carthagena?
a star. It's a Star of David because he's the wandering Jew.
Yes.
That is correct.
But
Why is he wandering?
That I don't know.
Because
Google is your friend.
both the first and the second one are connected to
yeah,
Jewish.
Menora's part of the sort of what's the word? Judaistic
Yeah,
religion,
Yep.
isn't it?
yeah.
Yep. But what do you know about the myth of the wandering Jew? You can take it from the first paragraph of Wikipedia if you like.
Oh, okay. It was cursed to walk the earth for eternity after he taunted Jesus.
So,
Ah,
what of those three symbols could be the more personal one?
Mm,
The
going
menorah.
from the curse, which is supposed to last until the second coming, I would suggest the Star of Bethlehem. The second coming implies the rebirth of Christ. The first time he turned up, it was indicated by a star. That's my take on
according
it.
to Christian mythology, as opposed to Jewish mythology, in which Jesus wasn't the Messiah.
He was a very naughty
Ooh.
boy.
Was a very naughty boy.
Hmm.
uh, well, it's one of the first two, isn't it? I'm just not sure which.
I mean, you've got me completely on this protection against the evil eye thing. I don't know what that is at all.
So the description of the evil eye is the Hamash hand is the protection against the evil eye.
Yeah.
It's got to be the hand downward facing hand one. The third one.
Yeah,
That's the protection symbol.
it's a protection against a curse. The evil eye is a curse, essentially.
So, hang on. These symbols are on the coffins, yeah.
Yep.
One on each coffin.
Mm-hmm.
So we can assume that the wandering Jew is the one with the Star of David on it.
Well, the menorah is also associated with Jews.
All three are associated with Judaism.
Oh, really? Oh,
The menorah is a classic. It's been the symbol. The menorah has been the symbol of Jewish Judaism since it's almost their coat of arms. No, it is the coat of arms of modern day Israel. So the Roman Jewish historian Flavius Josephus states that the 3 of the 7 lamps were allowed to burn during the day. However, according to the Talmud, only the center lamp was left burning during the day. It's when they sacked the Temple of Solomon, the menorah in that temple is deemed to be one of the almost a holy relic. So that's quite a big thing. Star of David, which has been used since the 17th century, although there's potential it's been seen in the 14th and 16th. It's kind of a version of the Seal of Solomon.
Mm.
Oh, right.
So there is a stone bearing a hexagram on the arch of a 3rd to 4th century synagogue in the Galilee region, allegedly. And then the Hamish hand is obviously a symbol of protection against curses or the evil eye.
Well, given that the Joseph God-Felix was cursed,
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards that one. The hand.
Yeah, because as I say, perhaps it's it can protect him,
Yeah.
but he's losing his freedom. So you seal him in basically a container, and he's not cursed to walk the earth. But if we take him out, then he's cursed to walk the earth.
Well,
Yeah, I can see the logic. Yeah.
but the it's supposed to be like a portal, isn't it? So one of these three is going to be a portal. Take us to the
There is a
mirror.
mechanism within one of them that will take you to the mirror lands.
Right. So I think it's the
So
hand one.
what happens if we open the wrong one?
Well,
We get the impression something icky,
Something
don't we?
bad.
something bad. As a minimum, what you know of Jewish mythology and bad stuff, in essence, they have a golem. The ark has lightning bolts that comes from it. If you touch it, you'll die. And given that their root is in the Egyptian, they are effectively a continuation of the cult of Amun-Ra. There's all of the sun god mythology in that as well. So you're expecting either an explosion of lightning bolts or a simulacrum to get out and attack you if you pick the wrong ones.
Right. Well, I suggest everyone else sort of stands further back.
Vote for it.
And
Go for it.
if you guys stand back, I'm going to open this hand one. What do you think?
Yep, go for it.
Yeah. Okie dokie. But seems
As
though I've
Mercury
got
Man turns
no
round
control.
and everyone's run off. Where'd you go?
All right, so
So you're going to hope.
I'm going to try to open it.
So you are able to shapeshift a little bit or elongate your body. So it's an obsidian lid, which is so finely made. It's you can only get a thin, almost like a hair through the actual stones. But because you can do this with your body, you are able to put your fingers into like mini hairs into the gap of the lid, and then almost pump more body into it, shall we say, and open the lid. You've got quite good strength, so yeah, pry it open. So you pry it open. There's like a sucking in of air, are you able to, unlike most Americans who would just smash it in all their films, you lift the lid off with a degree of reverence to what you are witnessing. Inside, the grave is empty, apart from a set of steps that go down into a small platform on which there stands a mirror that is shimmering.
Excellent.
You found it,
Are
lad.
you dead, Lord?
Yes. Yes. And I will gently put the lid down. I don't want it.
Yep.
I have the feeling it might shatter if you were to drop it.
Yeah, so you gently lay it to one side, and as you kind of finally lay it down, the front section of the grave lowers, and it enables you to walk in down the steps into the mirror.
Okay.
That's brilliant, Lord. Well done.
Yeah. All right, now let's open the others.
Let's not.
Not even funny, mate. Not even funny. Oh dear.
So, what would you like to do?
Given the time, Ref, are you carrying on, or do you want to call it a night?
Well, there's a perfect moment to end it on.
In that case, we're going down the steps. Terry first.
Just need.
No, I think somebody else can go first this time. I've had enough of going first every time. I maybe made it a diamond, but that means I'm a gem.
All right, I'll go first.
So you take your first step, and it looks like nobody has been down these steps ever. Walking down the no, let's back to that one. Walking down the steps, the mirror, for all intents and purposes, looks like a mirror Shallott, but this is working. This mirror, it is a working mirror of Shallott. You are able to step through the mirror, at which point you find yourselves in the mirror dimension. A vast plane of shattered mirrors. In the far distance, a glass tower rises up. Far to the left, there is an army of undead encamped in the foothills of the Mirrorlands. Beyond them, almost like that scene in Endgame with this circular gates that the sorcerers had brought everyone through. There's a series of gates that are opening out into the Helllands. That is the land of the dead. That's the moment we leave it.
Excellent.
As you entered Mirrorlands.
Oops, apocalypse.
I think that's a perfect. That's probably a good place. It's a good place to end. You turn in. The only other thing to happen is the 4 robots that are with you simply drop down, useless, because they're in a different dimension and they don't work in this dimension. So there's just you 3 and I forgot her name. Renegade.
And
Renegade.
you did
Miss
say
America.
You did say an army of undead.
An army of undead. Vast numbers of zombies and skeletons and ghouls and ghasts and lions and tigers. I might know. Undead. Quickly think of undead. Zombies. Skeletons. Ghasts. Yep. Liches. Lich. and all the other undead that I can't think of at the moment. Ghosts, ghoulies, all of those.
Revenant.
Vast array. So they seem to be a degree of sentience with them because they do have tents and kind of encampments. There would be no vampires, and the Liches would be generals in the army. So this is not hell. So you haven't got dukes and of hell that are there. Just
Everybody
undead.
dead.
Yes.
Cool.
So that seems to be a good place to leave
Yeah.
leave things, and we will enter begin next session with or the last session in the Mirrorlands
Excellent.
on the
27th.
this will be December. Where are we gone?
Well, the 3 weeks is 27th.
It is the 27th. I will double check if that's
Not
thing.
available.
Because it's I think it's because it's between Christmas
Yeah.
and
It's the day after
obviously
Boxing
Christmas.
Day. I'm not available.
Yeah.
Say that now. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So let's go with the 17th of January.
Okay, so it's good to me.
17th of January,
that's the Wednesday,
and then
is it?
yes, that'll be the very last session of Golden Heroes, and then on the 7th of February, it's Spies versus Vampires.
Ooh.
That will be interesting. So we have so for that session, for that campaign, is Knights Black Agents, the Dracula dossier, using characters from Mick Herron's Slow Horses.
What did you say? Knights?
So we got
Knights
Black Agents. Black Agents.
Yeah, got it.
This is the Kenneth Haidt vampires and so it's spies and vampires and Dracula and whatnot.
Why did that name ring a bell? Kenneth Haidt.
Kenneth Haidt. He
did
Trail of Cthulhu. Lots of.
Did he used to work for Steve Jackson Games? That
Possibly.
Name does ring a bell.
He's been around. Yeah. He's I can't listen to him speak. He's quite obnoxious. He's up his own arse sometimes. But that aside, it's an excellent campaign. So that's the one that's going to start in January. But no, it's going to start in February because we need to do the Golden Heroes.
I did actually watch the Slow Horses series because we're supposed to. Our characters are going to be based on characters from
loosely based on characters. It will be River, Jackson Lamb, Guy, Roddy and Cartwright are going to be NPCs. So they are the people you ring up, and Catherine, not Cartwright, Catherine, wherever her name, Standish, is a fixer, so can get you anything within reason. Roddy, being the computer guy, can transfer you up to your NatWest account within 2 hours because he can. So he'll be. They're kind of NPCs that will sit in the background. Struan Hoy and Min Harper might be used. I can't remember whether they're on the list or not, just to pad things out of characters. But yeah, that's on the cards. That's going to be a rather interesting campaign. It's a sandbox campaign, but I have to work out which kind of vampires I'm going to use, and a sort of a steer as to what direction. So there's been lots of vampires created over the centuries, So from Carmilla to obviously Dracula, to the Twilight sparkly vampires, the whole Hammer House of horror.
And there was the ones that Toro themed, the Strain or whatever it is. Those vampires.
Yeah.
They were vampires, weren't
So
they?
the Strains are a 3-book series. You have a Lovecraftian vampire, a sort of Lovecraftian vampire. If you take star vampires, fire vampires, and energy vampires sort of out of the mix, because they are properly Lovecraftian, but they're different kind of creatures. Brian Lumley did a huge 19-book series around the Necroscope. His vampires are quite clever, the way he's constructed them, but they come from a couple of lines in the case of Charles Dexter Ward, a Lovecraftian book. So lots to choose from. And also you've got Varney the Vampire.
Oh, yes.
A big one there. One of the vampires. You got that weird Japanese one. You've got 2 weird Japanese ones. There's one with one leg that hops. And my favourite is the Penalagon. So she might actually be Korean.
Yeah.
But it's a disembodied head and spine that floats around, but it stinks of vinegar, because the only way to get back into the body is to soak the body in vinegar to loosen it up, get back in the body, and then if you've got a maid that smells of vinegar, she's a vampire. It's weird, the shit some people come up with. So that's another vampire. That I must admit, I will put my hand up. That seems way too arsey, and I don't think would work in a Spies v Vampires game. Because that's like, I can smell I can smell vinegar. Right, let's kill her.
Get the flamethrowers out there.
Yeah.
I'd read I don't know if you. I mean, most people have probably seen the movie Interview with a Vampire, which is pretty good, but the book I thought was I don't know, outstanding. I thought it was the first vampire type thing that actually grabbed me.
So there's a new series that is loosely linked to the Mayfair Witches. They're in the same kind of universe-ish. If my understanding of the Interview with the Vampire, in one of the books, it traces the vampires back to Lilith, I think. Lilith being the first vampire.
Yeah.
Another monster from Jewish mythology.
Adam's first wife.
Yeah.
Yes, born equal, and because she wouldn't do as she's told, chucked out, mother of demons. So the second one, they take a rib. And the Gnostics are quite. There's another element of the Gnostics in which God's wife is the one that hands over the fruit, and then she gets morphed into the serpent. So what's her name? Asherah.
Asherah,
God's wife, Asherah.
Like that.
Yeah. So that's all kind of all crazy shit.